Well, ahead of planting season, we are learning cotton farmers are concerned they may be experiencing another trying year. This is following a season when some producers sowed a lot more money and reaped a little to no crop.
KCBD News Channel 11's Patricia Perry tells us what producers fear will hurt their pocketbooks in 2023.
There was a lot of bare land out here last year.
The extreme drought took a toll on many producers, making it hard to even grow a crop in 2022. The Texas Farm Bureau District 2 State Director is Walt Haygood. He explains rain is the most important factor in farming, so he's hoping for another season like the one from 2 years ago.
When we went into the 21 crop, we were very dry at that time, and it wasn't raining, and all of a sudden it rained just enough to get the crop up, and it kind of came late, but we had timely rain throughout the summer, and we made a wonderful crop. Most of us did.
In addition to the drought, the cotton commodity prices in 2022 plummeted, putting two stresses on producers. In Haygood's 43 seasons of farming, he's used to the stress of rain and unpredictable market. But how much it would cost to grow a crop caught him off guard.
Now we have another great risk, and that is actually the input cost. It just keeps going up. And so a lot of things that we're purchasing now are twice what they were 2 years ago.
Haygood says it looks like producers are plowing into the planting season in the same shape. He says seed is costing between $45 to $90 an acre depending on dry land or irrigated. The fertilizer is costing $45 an acre for 100 pounds, which is similar to 2022.
And I think a lot of farmers are concerned about something like that happening again. If you get a crop up and you start putting those high inputs into it and then you don't get enough rain to finish that crop, that's going to be a real problem in the end.
Haygood says the input costs from last year and not expecting any relief is turning producers to a new expertise or a new crop.
A lot of people are talking about maybe planting something different. Maybe they're not decided just right now as to what they're going to plant, so they may be holding off on booking their seed.
Haygood says currently December 2023 futures are showing cotton is sitting around 81 cents a pound. In the long run, he says if there are fewer acres because some farmers decided not to plant cotton, it may help the price go up and benefit those who are putting their boots on for another year. Patricia Perry, KCBD News Channel 11.